welcome back to Black Girl from Brick City. I am your host, Ace with the Y. Don't forget the Y. And I'm super excited to be speaking with you this week. Listen, we are on episode 24. Hey, ho, hey. Anyway, I don't know why I did that. But anyway, y'all, I hope that you had a very, very special day. Like a very, very, not even a very, very special day. I hope that you had a blessed day. I hope that you're having an amazing week. And listen, I had a great day today. Today is Monday, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a tie between my favorite days between Sunday and Monday. Sunday is definitely my top favorite day. Number one, it's the day of the Lord. Like, come on, somebody. And then number two, it just always feels like a fresh start. Like, it just feels like what am I going to get done this week? And then Monday is like my favorite day because it's like the new work week and you get to execute, all your plans, all your goals. That's just me. I know some people say I hate Mondays. I'm just like, I can't relate. I love Fridays. I love every day. Okay? My favorite day is Sundays. But anyway, I wanted to speak briefly. I'm like super exhausted. Like I told myself, listen, this is as cute as it's going to get. Right? I'm not here for really the aesthetics. I'm really here to have fun and to speak on topics that I know about, that I feel passionate about. And I literally get off work at 7. Time right now is like 9. And I'm trying to like get what I have to say off my heart and go to sleep. Okay, because I'm tired. But we get it done even when we tired. So I received a message from this young woman on Instagram. And she was just like, hey, I am a first-year teacher, and I would love to know if you have any advice. And listen, I was thinking to myself, like, advice? Like, I just started my first school year as an official full-time educator, and I'm just like, oh. But now that I look back, like, it's been 6 months now, yeah, almost my first full year, and I've learned some things. I'm not gonna hold you. Listen, I'm naturally a person that observes. And I tend to catch on and learn very quickly. So people always look at me like, this your first year? I'll be like, yeah. Maybe like, nah, like you just have something about you that feels like you've been doing this forever. That's just naturally who I am. Like if I'm passionate about something, I'll learn it. And then my goal is to master it. Like I just have to master it. Not be perfect at it. Not like get everything right, but master it. Give me the blueprint. Give me like the foundation, and I'm not only am I gonna master it, but I'm gonna make it my own. And you're gonna be like, whew. But anywho, I wanted to dedicate this topic to her because I would love to answer that question. Any advice that I have for first year teachers, I'm gonna call this episode "What I've Learned," I guess, as a first year teacher, or being a full-time educator. Tips and advice for a full-time educator. I don't know how I'm going to name this, but I just know that I'm going to speak from the heart and I'm going to keep it very to the point. So, first I would like to say that deciding to take on the honor, and I'm going to say this humbly, the privilege to be an educator has literally changed my life and my schedule drastically. Like I'm talking about, I feel like a nurse out here. You know how nurses be working 12-hour shifts. It didn't hit me that I'm working 12-hour shifts into my mom. I was speaking to my mother the other day, and she was just like, what time did you get off? And I was like, 7. It was around like this time. She's like, you just getting home? I said, yeah, I clean up. Sometimes I gotta go grocery shopping. Yeah. And then I don't know how people do this with kids, y'all. Shout out to my educators. Give it a round of applause. Y'all go to work, y'all deal with kids, and then y'all come home and gotta clean and cook at the kids. My God. But yeah, the Lord didn't bless me with kids yet, so I just be in here stressed with my dogs. Amen. So I'm not gonna complain. But anywho, it didn't hit me that I was working 12-hour shifts until she said, well, what time do you wake up? And I was like, I wake up 5. Like I'm used to it now. I wake up at 5. I'm out the door by like 6:10, 6:20 the latest. She's like, okay, and then what time you get off? I said, well, school's out at 3. I took on an after-school tutoring program because That's how much I love these kids. And then we leave there at like 6:10. So I'm out the door by 6:10, and I'm out the door for my school at 6:10. I'm working 12-hour shifts. But listen, don't be like me on your first year. If you don't really love these kids and if this is not your passion, don't do that. Go home at 3, okay? Because sometimes I get weary in well-doing, amen? But the Bible says, I'm not going to give y'all that scripture every week, but I should. Be not weary in well-doing, for in due season, you shall reap what you sow. Anyway, if you faint not. But let's be serious a little bit. I could play all day. It has changed my life. These kids have just, it's unexplainable. It's unexplainable how much I love these kids. And not just the kids in my class, just the kids in the school. Like, these are kids. You know, they're the future. They're going to be the next, they're going to be the next superstars. They're going to be the next politicians, the next lawyers, doctors. So all I do is think about these kids. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm obsessing over my job, but it's giving like, girl, go home and go to sleep. I be coming home like, what should I do with the kids tomorrow? But that's totally, totally normal, okay? And I'm going to get into it. I'm just going to get into it. So, first thing I learned about being a full-time educator is that you have to get to know your students from day one. Know their names, know who they like, know who they don't like, know their personalities, listen to them speak. Listen to them speak to each other. Listen to them and watch them at recess. Listen to them while they're answering questions. See what student doesn't like to raise her hand or his hand. See what student is always raising her hand and his hand. Get to know them, because this is going to help you when you are developing your lesson plans and trying to connect to the students in a certain way that's going to gravitate more to them. If you don't know your students, it's going to be really hard to teach them. So one of my things that I did maybe on the first month, is that I did little personality games. Like, okay, guys, so let's do 3 things you want your teacher to know. I gave them a sheet of paper. I let them draw, be creative. I want to get to know you. So, they were able to express themselves, and we were instantly able to build a bond, because some of the things that my students told me were very heavy. And listen, some of the things that these kids share to you is going to be very heavy and disturbing, and it's going to keep you up at night sometimes. And it's going to make you hug them a little tighter, like, especially the children in my community that I serve. There's been gun violence. There's been just things that I don't feel like children should go through, but trauma has no age limit. And these kids come to school not only for a chance to learn and, academically grow, but they are looking for that safe haven that they may not get at home, y'all. So it's very important to know which student had a death in the family, which student cat died or is hard sleeping, or which student has a hard time sleeping because their mom is in and out of the house. These are things you have to know. Please do not go into this job saying, I don't care about these kids, it's just about learning time. You are in complete error. I'm telling you, if you don't get the chance to know them, they won't get the chance to know you and respect you and listen to what you have to say, right? So, hey, listen. I ain't trying to ruffle no feathers. This is just what I learned, okay? All right. So we did a lot of personality projects. I wanted to know immediately who my kids were, who they were, what they liked, their favorite subject, and not just throw those templates out that we find on like Line, like Google or Teachers Pay Teachers. These little templates that these kids, will never see again. I'm talking about personality projects where they have the ability to express whatever they want, not just a template sentence, okay? Get to know your kids from day one. Also, you're going to change their desk all the time, all right? Don't be afraid to just keep switching it up until it fits you. I think I changed my classroom about 6, 7, 11 times, okay? If I see that one student is not getting along with this student, they got to go on the other side of the room. If I see that they're on the other side of the room causing havoc over there, I'm going to put them on what I call in my classroom no man's island, or no notes island, where you have to sit in the back and it's kind of hard to see the board, so you got to really put effort into learning. That's where I put the kids that don't know how to act, okay? But I can probably say that no student right now is in no notes island. They have all migrated back to the community, and my kids, like, we just have such an amazing bond. I don't know how I did it. I think it's just because I came to the students my most genuine self, and I allowed them to feel safe with me. I allowed them to be themselves, and then once I saw them be themselves, I was able to critique them in a non-judgmental way. I was able to connect with them in a way that they would be able to receive it. And that goes to my second point. Before I go there, you can move their seats, continuously move their seats until it works, okay? The way my room is, if I have a picture, I'll put it in here. But we have a U shape, right? So everybody sees everybody. And I feel like that, putting them in that order instead of like, you know, the box rows that most colleges and high school does. No. Well, I'm a 5th grade teacher, so I don't really know how many teachers are going to be watching this, what grade levels, but I'm just going to put that out there. I'm a 5th grade teacher. I'm not really sure what will work for like kindergarten or high school. But I will tell you this. You can get to know your kids no matter what grade they're in. Get to know them. They are little mini humans, and you'll be surprised what they go through, and you'll be surprised what they tell you. And you'll be surprised how much they really, really need you. Okay? Whew, I'm not going to get emotional because I'm just too fired for that. It's like, nah. People who are fired can get emotional. I'm just like, I'm trying not to get emotional because I really do love my kids, and I love my career, and the impact that I've made so far, I just never would have thought that I would be doing this. Whew. Anywho, let's continue. Number 2, respect them and they will respect you. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's get into the bad advice that I received when I was starting this year. Because, you know, I was just like probably every other BT1. I was searching online, like, you know, first year teachers, especially because I was full time, like, these are my kids. So, and a lot of the teachers were telling me, you know, lay down the law. Don't smile until it hits December. Don't let these kids see you smile. Don't let them see you giggle. That's a sign of weakness and all this other stuff. Listen. My kids be cracking up. As soon as they hit the door, I'm doing something silly like, I'll do something like that. Or I'll be on the board and, you know, it'll be a serious moment. I'm like, everybody write this question down. And we're waiting, and I'll just be like, ah! They'd be like, Ms.Charles, stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't subscribe to this whole, they don't, you know, they have to listen to me. I'm the boss. I'm this. I saw some teacher put in her rule list, because, you know, teacher, you want procedures, you want guidelines. I do have guidelines in my classroom. I think if I can remember them off the top of my head, no bullying. That's my key thing. No bullying. This is a community. No cell phones. And I forgot the rest, but they're all very important. But they're not like, this is not a democracy. It's my way, or you get out my classroom. Like, what? Like, that's the stuff that people be doing. Some teachers I see do. And maybe it works for you. Maybe you want to be Cruella on the block. And congratulations. If that works for you, that works for you. But I'm not going to be Cruella on the block. Cruella is not my style. You know what I'm saying? My style is like, I'm the cool teacher that you just don't want to play with. Because if you play with her, then she's going to lay down that law. But 9 times out of 10, she cool. She teaching us. We having fun. All right? But kids are not going to learn from you if they don't feel like you respect them. You do not have to talk crazy to these kids. And y'all, I have some horror stories. But if you could hear the way that some of these teachers talk to these kids, y'all, I took my kids to a certain class, and I will not be as specific as I usually am because I know some of my students have found my social media tags. As much as I tried to be like a Hannah Montana to my kids, you know, Ms.Charles during the day, AYCE by night, the cat slipped out the bag, so I know they're watching this. But anywho, I'm going to be as vague as possible. I took my kids to this certain class, and the way that this teacher spoke to them made my blood boil, and I don't get mad easily. He was like,
"You get in here and you shut that mouth of yours. Anybody who I hear take a peep, you're out of here."
I was just like, first of all, and it's not just one teacher. It's multiple teachers who think that this teaching style is just, what are we in the 60s? First of all, I feel like do not come into this thinking that you run a military camp. These are children, and you run a learning environment and that is supposed to feel safe, okay? Safe and rewarding for them, not degrading, and they're scared and they're making actions out of fear, okay? Because one thing about it, they're not going to respond well to you. Is it working for you? If it's working for you and you're a teacher and you're the Cruella on the block, or you're the what's the lion that killed Simba? Mustafa, right? If you're the Mustafa on the block, you got the black crown and you just, nobody likes you. You just, everywhere you go, you just, all you see is dead plants. My God. Is it working for you for real? It's probably not. But I'm going to talk about the ones that it probably is. The people who use their power in like some sick way to control kids. But we're going to get into that later. Listen, these are somebody's kids that you're speaking to. These are somebody's kids that you're teaching. I don't care if they're so bad that you just regret coming out your car this morning. Yes, what do I know? This is my first year for real being so involved with my kids. And this is my first year for real teaching so many kids at once. But I know that when I have my future kid, if I find out that my future kid is getting spoken to in this kind of way, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. So that's how I feel like, that's how I go through my day. It doesn't matter how bad a child just drives me there. You know what I'm saying? Because I've gotten there so far, and I'll tell y'all about that as well. But I'm not going to start degrading a 10-year-old, 9-year-old child. And shame on you if that's your teaching style, because you picked the wrong field. You should have been a cop. They get paid to do that, to degrade people and hurt them. Anyway, let's continue. Like I said, respect them and they will respect you. In my class, we don't say shut up. So when I hear that other teachers are telling my kids to shut up, I almost have like a panic attack. Like those teachers, y'all know how we feel. Like when we have kids, 23 kids that we see every day, 8 hours a day, we teach them. We're here when they cry, when they fall. We pick them up when they're sad because they failed the test. We encourage them, and then you're gonna come and try to belittle the work that I've done on this kid? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't care if you've been a teacher for 75 years. Don't tell my kid to shut up. Let me go tell your granddaughter to shut up. You would be so upset. You see how passionate I'm getting? Because they be getting me tight. But you see, I got to be Ms.Charles there. So I be keeping it very, very cute. Very cutie. Okay? But in real life, I really don't play no games for real. So, I mean, it is what it is. I will never be unprofessional. And I would never let a child get me to that point where I feel like I have to be unprofessional. But I have written some strongly worded emails so far. Yeah, I have. Respect them and they will respect you. Let's go to reason 3. I don't want to keep you long. There is always a reason for that kid that has the worst behavior. There is always a reason for that kid that has the worst behavior. Yep, the kid that you have to constantly send out the classroom, the kid who always has his head down, the kid who never completes assignments, the kid who is so mean to his peers or so mean to her peers, she's calling them ugly and stupid. There's always a reason. Now, do you want to find that reason out? Do you want to invest yourself to find that reason out and find other ways to connect with that student? Or do you want to just clock out at 3 o'clock and get your money? But listen, there's always a reason. I'm going to talk about my student and one of my students that I work with. His behavior in the beginning of the year was completely terrible. He couldn't pay attention. He didn't complete assignments. He, was very fatigued, tired in class. And he was almost like the class clown, right? So at first, before you go into these certain classes, you tend to have people tell you, oh, watch out for this behavior. Watch out for that behavior. Watch out for this. Oh, they did this last year, A lot of people came up to me and said, your group of kids, they're going to drive you crazy. They drove two teachers out here. And I was like, ooh, a challenge. I love that. I love challenges. Like, yes, give me those kids that nobody wants to teach because of their behavior. Please give me those kids. And what do we do in my class every day? We have a blast learning. And I'm very proud of them. But back to the student. I was trying to lay down the law with this young man. I was laying down the law. I would send him out, write him up, da-da-da. I saw that wasn't getting anywhere. It was just making him feel less worthy to even be in class, right? So I flipped my approach. I started to get to know him a little bit deeper, right? And what I've learned about him is that he is extremely naturally funny. He's funny. It's okay to let these kids make you laugh. Do you hear me? Teacher that's been teaching for 50 years. Teacher that's been teaching for 3 years and don't want to smile. It is okay that your kids are just funny. My God, if I had a teacher that let me thrive in my comedy gift, I wouldn't have gotten kicked out of 2 schools. Let's just keep it a buck. They're funny, so let them make each other laugh. Now, I tell my students, you need to know when to play and you need to know when to get in your bag. I call it get in your bag because my students, my demographic, they know what get in your bag means, okay? I say we have a time when we play and there's a time when you need to get in your bag, or you get in your math bag, get in your science bag, get in your reading bag. Pick that reading hat up, put that reading hat on, and now all you thinking about is reading or math or whatever subject we on. But so I started allowing him to tell jokes. I started laughing at his jokes. And then once I let him laugh, I said, all right, now you see how you got that joke out? Now I need you to sit here. I need you to do this assignment because I know that you can do this and you need to get it done. Right? And that's okay. Because the same way that you're balancing discipline with these kids, you need to put love on it as well. But it's crazy because I shared the same analogy with one of my family members the other day. And I related it to God. I said, okay, God is truth, right? He has his commandments. He has his abominations, what will bring you to the pearly gates of heaven and what will bring you to the pits of hell. He has his rules. He has his ways of doing things, right? That's truth, okay? But if God only communicated to us in truth, we wouldn't feel love, right? If somebody just told you every day, this is what you need to get done, and you're not doing it. And you know what? If you don't do it, you're going to be on punishment. You know what? If you don't get this done, you're going to be on timeout, and you're never going to come off a timeout. Whoa, where's the love? And I was telling my family member the same way that you want to handle these kids in truth, you have to do as God does and give them the same amount of what? Grace, mercy, and love. That's how I operate. See, that's how I operate because I've taught myself how to be that way. I feel so bad for people who have not tapped into that. You can't teach nobody that. You can't teach somebody how to operate in truth and grace and mercy and love, especially if they're not connected with the Holy Father. My God. Especially if they're like racist or have hate in their heart. My God. How? How could you teach a kid with truth and grace and love and mercy when you don't even know love for yourself, or you don't even love people in your house, or you don't even love people in your life? Nobody likes you, but you became a teacher. Can I get an amen? Crickets? Amen? No? Like, nobody likes you, but you became a teacher. So This is why I say, the same way that you scold these kids and tell them what they're doing wrong and send them to the office, you need to give them that same amount of grace, love, and mercy. Because at the end of the day, they're with you more than they're with their parents. They're with you more than they're at home. They deserve that love. They have to come to school. You chose this job. If they don't go to school, the cops gonna be at their door. The people gonna be like, where your child at? But if you don't come, you're just gonna get fired and replaced. So, all right, I say that to say this. Show these kids some grace and some mercy and some love. The same way you discipline them is the same way you can give them some love and grace. So that's what I did with the student. I started giving him more love, more grace, more understanding, and I was backing it up. Like, one thing about it, you're not gonna talk to me crazy. You're not gonna call me your bruh. I'm 27, but I'm grown. These kids is 9, 10. All right, stop playing with me. But the same way I say stop playing with me, do you understand me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Same way I do that, I'd be like, okay, come on, let's do it. Now, you might think I'm psycho, but the kids get it and they feel it because it's real and it's genuine. It's not psycho, okay? It's called real love, all right? And when you tap into that real love with yourself, you can't allow you want everybody to feel this love. Like, this love that I have inside of me, y'all. I love to show everybody this love, especially strangers. Strangers gonna feel my love, and I don't even know you. You know, once you show me that you're not worthy of that love, of course you no longer have access to it. Now I'm looking straight when I'm walking down the hallway. Good morning. Yeah. And that goes to my fourth and last point, because I don't want to ramble. Be careful of who you hang out with and avoid drama. And we just gonna end that on that. Be careful who you hang out with and avoid drama. Do you think I need to go around to everybody's classroom telling them how stressed I am and how much these kids... No. Because what I've learned very, very quickly, my God, some people are just miserable. They're just miserable. They get up, they come to this job, they don't like their job, they don't even like kids. They don't even like their own kids, probably. I'm speaking hypothetically. But then they come here and they just scream and yell and degrade and boss around. They've never had a management position in their life. So now they've been put in charge of kids and they feel like the big boss, right? So now they're bullying fit 5-year-olds because they feel they never had this kind of power before. This kid looks up to you. When you tell them to stop in the line, they stop. When you tell a student, come here, they come here with no questions asked. That kind of would get to somebody who's not right in the head. You're not right in the head if you want to be a teacher to boss kids around because you don't have any control in any other area of your life. You've never had a sense of authority or power in any other sector of your life. So you want to come bully kids. You want to come talk about how much you can't stand these kids. How much they better be grateful because you're here. No. You better be grateful that you're here. Okay? So those kind of people irritate me. You know, I've dealt with that. I've dealt with people just talking, don't know what they talking about, assuming, don't know who they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Asking me questions like, why you let the kids talk? Why your class so loud? It's because we're learning. Learning is fun. Learning is loud. Should I make them learn as robots? Should I make them learn silently? No. My classroom is not a prison. My classroom is a learning environment. And guess what? The same way that you have your teaching method, I have mine. And mine is working for me. They'd be like, oh, you're going to get observed. Please observe me. I love being observed. I was observed by my assistant principal, and I got great reviews. She said that she learned something in my class, and I was so shocked and humbled that a woman who has way more experience in this field than me told me that she learned something from my classroom. And that's when I say, you know what? I don't care who has something to say about what I'm doing. I know that my heart is in it. I know that I'm researching. I know that I don't do anything without knowing what I'm talking about. So stay away from people who are just miserable. Misery, listen, y'all heard that quote. I didn't understand it until I understood it. Misery loves company. What good is being miserable if I can't feel miserable with you? Right? Miserable people don't want to be alone. Then they got to sit there with their misery by themselves. Like, that's no fun. They want to be miserable with 3 or 4 people who are, I hate my life. I hate this. I hate these kids. They don't learn. They don't listen. They don't talk right. They don't listen. They don't read right. Listen, they're kids. They are kids. One day, they will not be kids, and they will remember how you treated them. Woo! Wow, I hope that was helpful. Like, I tried to keep this under 15 minutes, but knowing me, I just talk too much. Will it ever be possible to do an episode under 30 minutes? I don't know. But listen, I hope that at least something helps you if you are a BT1, BT2, beginner teacher, you're thinking about being a teacher. Listen, it's so rewarding, especially if you have a passion for teaching. I never knew I had a passion for teaching. I was teaching my whole life, you know, but to be able to impact so many kids at once and give them real love and show them how to love and just be able to teach them how to treat others how they want to be treated. I greet them every day with gospel music blasting, whether they like it or not. I respect religions, but they don't mind. Even my girl who's Muslim in my class, she don't mind. Like, it's just a feeling of love, of safety. Okay? Love translates into all languages. I actually just got a student who speaks no English. So I'm actually learning words like ayúdame, that means help me. Or, child, I forgot. But I'm learning. Okay, I use Google Translate to teach her. And she's so super smart, super fun personality. It's just, every day is something new. Every day is the chance to just give these kids a fresh start. No matter how bad the day before was, I don't go to sleep with any bad blood in my heart. I go to sleep, and then I wake up with a brand new mindset for my kids. So I hope that something that I said was helpful to you. And if you are a teacher, shout out to you. We appreciate you so much. We need you. And you are seen, you are needed, and you matter. Okay. And if you're thinking about it, I hope that you do it. Like, it's the most awesome job in the world. I kid you not. We done had so many breaks, y'all. People in Jersey be calling me like, girl, you got 3 weeks off for Christmas. I be only got 1 week. I be like, can't relate. I'm in the country, girl. Talk to you later. I'm on break. But you get, there are other perks of being a teacher, and I'll probably do a part 2 because I really don't want to make this too long. But there's perks and benefits of being a teacher: health insurance, stability. You're off when they're off, snow days, any days that the students miss school, you are missing school as well. So, hey, that's how I'm able to still do my podcast, able to still do my music, because yes, I'm super dedicated to my career and my kids, but I also have my own passions outside of it that I feel like I'm still able to do. And you only going to make time for what you want to get accomplished. So I'm really big on getting my goals accomplished. So no matter what, I don't care if I'm tired, I'm going to sit in front of this camera and I'm going to speak, because that's one of my goals, to get to 50 episodes this year or more. So thank you so much for listening to my podcast. Listen, if you have any ideas or you have any questions for me, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not like this super licensed counselor, but I have been through some things and I would love to discuss them. If you have anything, DM me, message me, email me. Thank you so much for listening to my show, Black Girl from Brick City. Until next week, bye.